Happy Monday. Welcome to ATI Pro Media. We are powered by Advanced Trading. We have a lot of things to talk about. And you know what? We have time. Sit back, get a cup of Joe, and enjoy the show. Here's how it's going to go. We actually have a plan. We're going to talk prices, then we're going to do weather, then we're going to do cash flow, then we're going to do politics. Stick around to the end. All right. A man with a plan. Let's go to LaSalle Street and then we'll bring him in. Connor B. Good news on the grain front. D's corn up 7 cents, 412. SEP soybeans up 22. Nov soybeans up 27. It's not something I've said a lot lately. Meal up 70. Soybean oil up 76. Wheat, struggle bus right there. SEP wheat only up a half. KC wheat down 1. Minneapolis, the leader. Last week, just a note, Minneapolis spring wheat was up on the week. We'll take it over to cattle. Cattle up 150 in the Augie. Feeder cattle up 230. If you're a premium client, you got the breakdown of all that from B. Huck on Friday. Brady Huck was Friday's premium content. Hogs hanging in there as a short covering rally continues. Wall Street we go. See how things are doing here in gold. Gold down $5, silver down 26. Those were up last night. 2-year, 5-year, 10-year, 30-year bonds up a little bit. That means rates calming down. Crude oil down 75 cents. We did have some bombings in the Middle East this weekend. Always interesting. Natural gas creeping back up 85. That's 4% for you home gamers. Let's bring it down to the Dow Jones. Dow Jones down 60, but wait. NASDAQ up 240, S&P up 30. Bitcoin down 200. Dr. Copper down 6. A lot of volatility on those outside markets as we ended last week. Last week was a debacle in the sense that what happened with that company is it, correct me if I'm wrong, Connor B. CrowdStrike? CrowdStrike got all busted up and that really hurt a lot of the people. So I'm going to bring Connor B. in the show. Jojo, bring him in. Connor B., don't be a stranger. Come on in. Where were you 1 week ago today? I was asking, where were you when you found? Oh, we're talking politics at the end. Make me stick to this.
It's too late. Listen, this is why we don't have a script. We could have a script just so you can deviate from it. What was your question? Then we'll talk.
Oh, the crowd goes nuts. All right. Listen, where were you when you found out that President Joe Biden will not be running for re-election?
I have my cousin is shipping off to join the Army. So we were having a little
Thank you
get
for your
together.
service.
Yep, absolutely. So we were having a get together, and I had a cousin tell me no, that's not true. I found it from the one and only Tommy Grisafi. I'm the one that broke it. You texted me, and I said, okay, it's official, and we're done.
Yeah, I the first thing I did was text ATI Pro Media subscribers. That dollar got you that news real quick. Jimmy John's Fast came out on X of all places. Interesting to note. How interesting that the person who the person who so many people didn't want to own that platform is now where the president of the United States announced that he wasn't going to be on his platform and ticket. All right, markets, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Love the price action. Not surprised in the sense that grains are way oversold, and we have weather to talk about. And
great
summer.
Start to the month. Yeah, great start to the Monday. Beans, the leader right now, up big. But we got corn, wheat's trying. It's up a couple cents, as you said. And so first one we did have a flash sale, 133,000 metric tons corn delivery to Mexico. Good to see. Last week we saw some decent soybean buying from unknown destinations or China. Be really nice to see some follow through in the next couple weeks of that, Tommy. But the big one we have Friday, we saw a commitment of traders. I'm going to pop that up there. And it's the same old story, right? Where funds are very, very short. This is a busy chart, but I think it tells the story, Tommy. And it just says if we combined all grain and oilseed futures and options, that black line is where we are. So we are in uncharted territory in the fact that we are so record short across all grains. You can see that black line. Yeah. And then just looking at corn, right? I didn't pop this chart in there. 343,000 contracts short in corn, 1.7 billion bushel in terms of corn shorts.
And who is long that?
The U.S. farmer is very right. They're long the old crop, and as we know very well, they're very long the new crop, Tommy.
You know what's something we never talk about, it should be talked about more, is the world farmers caught long too. So this is futures and options. Then we always talk that the U.S. farmers caught long. The world farmer has been caught long too. And so you say, oh, the funds are short, and the world farmer is caught long. So anywhere where a bushel of grain is produced is being punished for this price action, I guess is the way I'd say it.
Yeah, well
How much
said. When I
peanut gallery?
go ahead, Tommy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, buddy. Yeah. Is my stuff messed up? There's a little lag. That's okay. Can you guys hear me? Jojo, can you hear me? Yeah. You doing okay? Go full
Am I
screen
good,
of me.
guys? Is it on my
Okay,
end?
good. Yeah. No worries. The world farmers cut long. That's all I'm saying. All right, next subject
Yep.
as we continue. Money flow.
Yeah.
We did the money flow.
Well, just looking, China unexpectedly cut their leading rates to help a struggling economy. So as we're seeing, right, as we're paying attention to China economy, it's not exactly just this roaring train full speed ahead, right? We're seeing issues, and let's relate that back to the farm gate. Are we going to see big soybean purchases in the next few months because of that, right? It's too early to tell. We'll see. But the economy isn't necessarily strong in China, and I think that's the main takeaway that I see, Tommy.
Yeah, and when I started reading the wires, I was saying, "Hey, why are beans up?" And then all of a sudden, you see these rate cuts. It makes a little bit more sense. Let me note, it's extremely important. If corn does not close up today, and these markets give it up, that won't be a good look. So if we close below, say 405, it will not be a good look at all for agriculture. So we do have a lot of things are going to happen here in the world. We're dealing with weather. Did you bring a couple weather charts with you?
Yeah, because that's the thing. I mean, when we're looking at this, we had so many headlines with politics, but let's make sure we're paying attention to that 14-day forecast, right? July, right? 8 days away from July being in the rearview mirror. Precipitation was friendly. We saw good weather, but looking out that GFS, it's not super friendly. We're seeing above average dryness, definitely in Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska. Us in Illinois and Indiana, Tommy, right? We're about average, but it's definitely, this crop is not made. And Nate Mangold sent us this great chart. I'll pop it up. And just looking at weather impacts on U.S. yield. And so we all know the truth that July is what matters the most in terms of temperature and rain. But August temperature, August precipitation, it's a big factor, Tommy. So crop is not made. We got a ways to go, right? And I think plan accordingly, right? Be ready for this volatility. If we see any type of weather issues, we know where the funds are positioned, and let's be ready for any type of scenario.
Mm-hmm. When I was a young guy, I don't remember what year it was, but we had like a really, 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 really great record crop in corn, and we really hurt the bean crop in August. I remember it screwed me up because I kept buying corn because beans were going up because you can't buy your beans in the corn pit, you can't buy your wheat in the corn pit. But as a trader, young trader, you're like, oh, beans are up 12, go buy corn. Yeah, the world wasn't running out of corn that year, and so corn is truly. So much of the goodness has been made here through July. A few more rains. I don't want to say the crop's made, but we'll say there will be a crop. Is that a safe assessment? Where with beans,
Absolutely.
you get too much rain in one area, you could hurt some individual fields, some individual parts, like the south part of Minnesota is probably going to be a problem all year. But when you get heat, you can hurt everything. And when you get heat just at the right time, as we get the second half of the corn crop pollinating, we gotta really understand what is hot and dry, right? How much have these plants rooted down and what can they handle or not handle? But it is pretty much impossible to grow a record bean crop without a nice little rain here in August or the end of September. But boy, did we do
Yep.
it last year. You have to question everything you've ever done, because when you see the yield Iowa put out with the limited rains, moderate rains, it's interesting to see what they can do. What else do you have for us, sir?
Yeah. Along those lines, right? Betting against genetics, it hasn't paid. It hasn't really paid in the past 5-10 years. So always keep that in mind when we're looking at weather and potential yield and all that. And so, other than that, Tommy, we can talk price action a little bit. We're still hanging in there, but should we
Absolutely.
jump to the big headline over the weekend?
Yeah, let's do premium content real quick here. Over
Sure.
Friday, we had Brady Huck talking. Brady Huck, where is little Brady Huck? There he is. Brady Huck to Kettle on Feed. Great report. If you're a premium subscriber, you received that. We hit it on Saturday with Don Wick, end of week review. Some real good tidbits in there. Understanding that Don Wick was recorded early Saturday morning, and we talked a lot of politics on there. It's 11, 12-minute video. We were probably 9 minutes of politics. And it's funny, some of the things we talked about actually happened. I guess funny is not the right word. It's interesting. Let's go with that. Mick Kerr hit it up early. ATI Pro Media premium subscribers, Monday weather with Mick Kerr. All right. Yeah, let's get into the fun stuff. The announcement came out on X. The reason I find that so interesting is I don't think President Joe Biden's dear buddies with Elon Musk. And I don't think the owners of Facebook and all other social media platforms are big buddies with Elon Musk. Elon Musk bought X and then proceeded to fire 3/4 of the staff. Now, I don't know what you call it, but just call it the story that's evolving. On the day President Trump, uh, on the assassination attempt, X hit record volume. And I bet you yesterday had to be close. So the amount of traffic going through X, I was watching TV stations, I was looking at different things. X steals the show, and then the folks from X, once they hear the news, they start their live streams like this. Dan Bongino, 250,000 people watching him on that streaming service called Rumble. Now, what's interesting, do you know how much it costs to put a stream on Rumble, Connor?
Mm-mm.
Zero was his expenses to run that stream. He probably had he does have a few people who help him, so he has a cost. They have a couple camera light people. Sometimes it doesn't go so well. He's even said in his own show, I got a pillowcase over that light. We're in a hotel room. I have a media company. I understand what goes into this. Once the initial expenses are done, you need internet, brother, and a camera and a little makeup. And I don't think he wears makeup. He's just pretty naturally. But some of us need a little powder. Zero cost for Dan Bongino to have 250,000 people watching. Media has changed. Ag media has changed. All media has changed. And if you don't know that or like that, then that means you haven't changed. Back to you, sir.
Look, along those lines, I tend to relate things back to the ag community. In Twitter, we had Dr. Scott Irwin with U of I. He put on the Illinois producer like farm budget and where they were going to be. It was right when prices were about as negative as they could be. I think 250,000 people looked at that, Tommy, just in our little world. So unbelievable the reach that Twitter has. And then we have a sitting president announcing one of the, I mean, as big a headline as you could have, and he announced it on X. So
Let's talk about that. Last
Yep.
time this happened. Tommy, when was last time this happened? Connor, last time this happened was LBJ. LBJ resigned and he gave about a 38-minute speech and didn't start talking about it till minute 32. Speaking of speeches, has anyone seen President Biden?
I don't think so. He's still
I've not
recovering. I
seen a
mean,
picture. I have
he
not
still
seen
has
anything.
COVID, I would guess. So, but no, I haven't seen anything. Right when he announced it, it was in the form of a letter, and so no, I don't think we've seen anything from him.
White House staffers did not know because no matter how much they say we're going to do something, don't leak it, it gets leaked. These people have phones on top of phones, on top of iWatches, on top of Winks, on top of Snapchat, and all types of quiet devices where they leak information. This was truly, we knew it could happen, but the insiders did not know. And if they did, Dan Bongino and all them people would have been sitting at their desk ready. Interesting with that. So LBJ packed it in. Now, where was the Democratic National Convention, 1969? Chicago.
Where is it in 2024?
Chicago.
Yep. When is that, Tommy? It's second, third week in
August 19th through 22nd. I'm glad you asked, Connor. I am the most prepared I ever have been for a broadcast because I actually sat down and took notes. Yeah.
Go.
And they say at work I have ADHD. Amazing. Never seen them go live for an hour and 20 minutes with 500 people on. But we did. Who has two thumbs and went live last night and just broke it all down? Tommy Grisafi and Brady Huck. And we said, we're not getting off till we have 500 people. It took a little time, but we did it. Speaking of 500 people, I hope I meet you all out at Ag PhD. I'll be out at Ag PhD. We should have a lot more than 500 people at the 7 a.m. marketing meeting, but I will be on the main stage giving you the good news. I hope markets are still up when I get there. It's always more fun talking to farmers when the markets are up. But yes, media is changing how we get out. You know how much it cost us last night to have a meeting with 500 people? Zero. One American flag is what it costs because we are true patriots. All right, keeping on the politic thing.
Yeah,
This is what we have. Last night's thing. Last night's ATI Pro Media, President Biden drops out. Okay, will we have debates? Will we have debates, yes or no? I don't know. We do not even know who our candidates are. This is the wildest thing. Can't believe I did this. I went live for an hour and 16 minutes. I didn't realize till I got done live streaming when a friend of mine told me how upset Democrats are. Do you know why Democrats are upset?
Tell me.
They did not get to choose who their presidential candidate is and vice president candidate. That is being chose from a higher power. And so we did not have a Democratic Party, a primary, did we? Because President Joe Biden, no one ran against him. Therefore, he's in. Now he's out, and so total chaos within the Democratic Party. Last night when we were live streaming, I was going to predict it for this chart, and I couldn't find it. Who will win the 2024 Democratic Vice President nomination? I couldn't find it because it didn't exist. This did not exist last night. They had to build this and predict it and have people start betting on it because as of yesterday at 2 o'clock, it was President Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, president, vice president ticket. And then Kamala has since sent away paperwork to be the presidential candidate. Now, the rumor on the street is this. If they don't like how she's polling coming in the Democratic National Convention, there are going to be a lot of changes made right into that convention. It is going to be a wild time in Chicago, August 19th through 22nd. Yes, sir.
Can you pull up the odds of the Democratic? Does it have that? I mean, I'm sure. Is it Camilla is 80-90?
Yeah, let me get that. Hold on. Please stand by. Yes. She's 84-cent bid. Michelle Obama, 7-cent bid. Hillary, 6-3. Is this the one you wanted?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very a candidate right now. So then we switch to who's the vice president because we're looking about building the ticket, right? Now, what I did learn on the TV yesterday is that there's a huge amount of money that's sitting there that has to be spent, I believe. And this is all new because we haven't done this since 1969. I was born in 72. The money in the pool needs to be spent on President Obama, Kamala Harris ticket. I think it can be either or. And there's talk that if she does not run, that money has to be refunded. I did hear they raised $50 million yesterday. Wouldn't surprise me at all. And for the first time in my career or my life, I know who, as of today, is the Republican presidential candidate and vice president candidate. We have no clue at this point who the nomination for the Democratic ticket is on either the presidential side or vice president. This says there's an 84% chance, but things change quick. Full reference, back in 2016, Hillary Clinton was 98% favorite to win, and Donald Trump was 2-cent bid. He became president in 2016. So we have 106 days left to the election. Things are going to move fast. Why do we talk about it on the stream? Because it affects your money. It affects who's going to be ag secretary. It affects so many things you do. Maybe not on the moment. Like, for example, Don Wick called me early this morning. He said, what are markets doing? I said, if you didn't know that President Joe Biden is not running, you just think the markets were having a good day. Stocks were up a little, grains were up a little, it's a little hot, cattle are up. You would just think like, hey, not a bad day here. There's no major effect today. But as we come in the next 100 days and the next 60 days after that, next 200 days are going to be wild in America. Any other thoughts, comments?
Yeah, no, well said, right? We talk about politics, number one, because it's newsworthy, right? We want to keep our watchers informed, but then also we can see a ton of volatility, right? The past 6 months, we talked about biodiesel and how much mandates are going to be there. Trump was very clear. He's not interested in doing an electric vehicle mandate. I believe he called it the Green New Scam, right? He's not interested in really pushing those as we saw Biden's presidency do it. So, in the next 6 months, we could see a much different market than what we see right now. So absolutely, we got to pay attention to it. We got to be ready, no matter who's in office, no matter who you decide to back. Right? Let's make sure we're making the right decisions on your farm and your operation too.
Mhm. A client texted me last night when I was streaming. He said, "We officially have a lame duck presidency." I never thought of it that way either. The next 4 months, we have a lame duck presidency. He said, "If you were China and ever wanted to misbehave and start trouble, now's the time." What do you think of that?
Very interesting. I never thought of that either. And we see, a lot of the Republican voices are calling, if Biden's not willing to or not able to run for the next presidency, that he should step down. I don't think he has any intention of stepping down. He's going to finish his presidency. But that being said, the past 2 weeks, we've seen a lot of a lot of new news, a lot of volatility, and I don't think that's going to change, Tommy. So we'll see where the excitement goes from here.
Yeah, Jojo, grab that one for me. I'll take over from here. You see my phone ringing? If you can get that, go ahead and get that. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's interesting. So clients are sending me tidbits. We watch TV. I watch all the stations, by the way. Someone says, "What station do you put on?" I have several TVs, several phones, laptops. I like to put them all on. I have Sling TV that I pay for. I have DirecTV that I pay for. I like to put them all up on my phone, my laptop, my iPad, and just start watching them. I like to read the headlines at the bottom, put them all on mute, and see what angle they're coming from here. Did we miss anything? I know it was an action-packed day. If you are going for a ride or driving, we have the show. You'll only be able to see that show last night on YouTube. We did not put it on Spotify and Apple. You can watch that video only. YouTube did have some challenges this morning, and I did notice some people were having a hard time uploading streams. Yeah, this is interesting what Luke's saying. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, the enthusiasm for Kamala doesn't appear to be there. Look at her performance in the 2020 primaries. Will they throw the presidential race in order to focus on the down ballot races, such as the Senate? Interesting.
Beyond my
thought.
pay grade. When it comes to politics, I'm like, oh, good point. Didn't think of that. Every time someone says something, I'm like, wow, didn't think of that. Didn't think of that. I'm definitely not. I'm not a political analyst. I'm a United States citizen who gets one vote, who's involved in markets. So when you go back and look at history, she didn't do well when she ran for president, and everyone needs to be really, 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 really careful about. They're going to go back and look at everything you've ever said about her, and they're going to go back and flip it on you. So the great flip in the next few weeks is going to be crazy. All the people who didn't support her, who then now support her. I guess in wrapping it up from the top, they say the two most powerful people in the Democratic Party right now are Barack Obama, which comes at no surprise, still a young man, relatively speaking, and Nancy Pelosi. And they say Nancy was very influential in this what happened here. So I believe Nancy Pelosi's 84. You guys can fact check me on that, Rick. But an 84-year-old politician heavily swayed what an 82-year-old politician is going to do. I have not seen any pictures of President Biden. We're coming off of 7-8 days from a presidential assassination attempt on a Republican candidate to what some are calling a coup on a Democratic candidate. And truthfully, folks, the money dried up. He said he was going to run. He said he was going to stay in. Everyone pulled their money, and we went limit down on President Joe Biden. When the money goes, the politician goes. So that 52-year career, I say thank you. You definitely served your country, and it's interesting. I don't think I'd be good at politics. I'll tell you that much. That's not for me. Not for me at all. So,
yeah, me neither. We do just fine just doing this live stream, Tommy. I think so.
Well, it's interesting.
So we kind of stuck to the script, not too much, but I don't think we have any other questions that I can see. So we want to go ahead and wrap it up, and we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Yeah, if you're out there, we love America. I hope you love America. Give us a call. 1-855-737-FARM. You want a free American flag? I always send those out to our true patriots out there. It's an absolute privilege to work with and for the American farmer. Love doing this show. If you missed us, catch us on one of the other platforms. I hope to see you in person in South Dakota. And with that, looking for the button. See you tomorrow, buddy.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.